You're with Newsmakers on the panel, Chris Hutching, Marg Foster and Antony Gough. The Star newspaper has revealed this week that ratepayers have spent nearly $2 million on reports on how to revitalise the central city. There have been 20 separate reports commissioned over the past 5 years. The latest production, of course, was the $300,000 spend up on getting the Danish designer Jan Gell to appraise the central city. And I think his little fetching line was, building a city for people. You don't say. Has this money been well spent, Mr. Hutching?
I think it's absolute outrage. I mean, if any council needs to be looked at, this one needs to. How many pen pushers have they employed to do these silly things? This guy Gell that you're talking about, he comes from a city that's probably got more people in it than New Zealand. Look at Bob Parker going over to Portland. What's the point in that? We need to have solutions that suit our town.
All right. Mark?
And so, in saying that, solutions that suit our town are having people like, and I know it sounds ridiculous, but having the likes of Antony, who's actually from here and involved in the whole dynamics of the city, being a part of the whole thing. I'm sure even me, I could offer some innovation and ideas, you know, that I've lived here for 40 years of my life.
For half the price.
Yeah, but, exactly half the price. I'd, take. 600,000.
Well, it's interesting.
Oh my gosh, come on, guys. I could write that report.
I do recall that last time Dave Henderson was on the show, Chris, I think you were on the same panel, and Hendo trashed the Jan Gell report. And I think his principal concern was that Jan Gell does not seem to have any appreciation or idea of the Christchurch car culture, and just compiled an appraisal in total ignorance of that, thinking that we'll happily leave the car at home on a Sunday to cycle down Colombo Street or take the bus. What did you think of the Gell report, by the way?
A waste of money. It's got some very good things. Yes, I love greening the city and encouraging people to sit on the Avon riverbank with a nice walkway. But the thing that will revitalise Centre City is to encourage more people to live there, and in order to do that, you've actually got to give incentives. Get down to basics, make the financials work, and then you'll get the Centre City alive. And there's some really simple things in that line.
Are you surprised at the scale of spending on reports to do with the CBD?
Yes, I'm horrified.
Is it more than you thought it would be?
Far more. And what's more, they're going to spend another 600 and something thousand analysing the Gell report. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
But these are only the external reports too, Mike. There are an awful lot of internal reports by staff that come up in the agendas, and I read them and get stories out of them. And, some of these things are a complete waste of time. Now, I think the Brothel Bylaw Signage Committee, subcommittee, has sat umpteen times since 2004. A complete and utter waste of time. Nobody wants to put up brothel signs, but they have to have a little tete-a-tete about it every few months.
Although the US Navy, I think, did make a submission on that, didn't they? I think Sir Geoffrey reckons they should have. Anyway, we'll move on hastily. Heroes and villains of the week. Who deserves a plug and a poke from the week that has been, Marg?
I don't know, it's not from this week, but I was very privileged to go and have a look at the St George Cancer Care Centre, and Cilla Glasson just absolutely did an amazing job of fundraising and getting that up and running, and it just looks stunning.
Awesome. Okay, I've got about 30 seconds left. I'm very sorry. So very quickly, any names to mention?
Yes, Jan Johansson for being gutsy to stand up to a boxing round. The rest of the City Council for voting for a 66% loading against commercial properties for your coming rates. Enjoy it, folks. You're doing a huge increase commercial.
Perhaps the whole council should have been in the ring last Friday night.
Yeah.
Replace them with commissioners.
Any names to mention?
Well, look, I'll praise the council for buying that piece of land at Purao, where I love to go and do a bit of sailing. It's fantastic. Geoffrey Palmer's put his foot in it. He might have been misquoted, but I think he's, out of kilter, and I'm not sure whether you should have been agreeing with him either.
I do want to point out at this juncture that Chris Hutching is going to the John Minto picnic on Sunday with his straw bucket on his head. To the pick of the week, and this image hails from the Southern Motorway in Auckland. I'm not one to condone graffiti, but the scrawl across the overbridge to greet Auckland's daily snarler is quite amusing, don't you think? Good morning, lemons. Jan Gell would probably approve of this one, actually. To the Newsmakers poll, last week's question, should all Easter retail trading restrictions be abolished? And this was a real polariser, 47% yes, 53% no, the prize winner Dee Massey. This week's question, it's the Sir Geoffrey question for you. Would the resumption of US Navy ship visits to New Zealand be desirable? Yes or no? You can email newsmakers at ctv.co.nz or use the web or the post. To do so, and you'll be in to win Opera 2010, the CD compilation, and some treats from McDonald's. Good luck. Margie, very quickly, can the tactics prevail over the magic this weekend?
I'd like to think that we could, onwards and upwards from last week, and getting in there and they've got to take it off us. It's our territory out there at Westpac.
Yes.
And get
Remember,
in
it's
there
our
and
fortress.
be, yeah.
Yeah, all right. Very good to have you on board. Thank you very much for your company. Have a wonderful weekend. Go the Crusaders as well, of course, against the Cheetahs. Have a good one. Take care. Good night.